Today I'm going to be talking to you about reclaimed building materials, reclaimed wood, anything that you can scavenge out, whether it be at another job site, or if you can find it on Facebook or Craigslist, or you can find it at a dump like this one right here. This is stuff that you can use in your house build to save money and recycle old materials. This right here, I know it looks like a pile of garbage, but you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I can easily see that there's 6 2x12s that are at least 12 foot long. There's a pile of 2x6s, a pile of 2x4s. You know, this is at least $100 or more worth of lumber if you were to buy it new. So doing stuff like this will definitely put a dent in the home build budget that you're making. So let's get started. I pulled out 3 pieces of wood from the pile to give you an idea of the varying quality of wood you're going to see when you're scavenging for reclaimed wood. There's certain things you want to keep an eye on, you want to look for, and there's certain things that are definitely red flags when you are looking for reclaimed lumber. Let's start with the worst piece of wood, and that's this one. As you can see, it has big old crack right there, extending all the way down, and also some smaller cracks down here. You can tell this has been sitting out for a while and has experienced considerable rot, water damage, and probably termite damage as well. A dead giveaway is if you try to lift the log and it is really light. That means that it's hollowed out on the inside. Biggest thing on these types of wood is you can't use it for any types of structural integrity in a framing project, because this is not going to hold any weight at all. That being said, you can use something like this in a crafting project or something that's more of a finish. I know the distressed wood look is very popular right now. Something like this, you're definitely going to want to sand and then stain to really bring out the aged look of the wood. Here is the second piece of wood that I pulled out. As you can see, there's no rot or water damage or anything like that, but there are these screws that are sticking out. Also, you can tell that the piece of wood, if you look at it from an angle, it's not actually straight. This is still usable, but it's gonna take some work. Really what you're gonna have to do, and this is the hard work of reclaimed materials, is you're gonna have to pull those screws out with pry bar, and then you can also place the wood on an angle and then put weight on it. That way you can straighten it out. Just leave it out in the yard, and if it rains too, that will help loosen up the wood so it will bend into a good straight line. And the third piece of wood that I pulled out of the pile is in shockingly good condition. You'd be surprised how many pieces of wood you'll find out there are just in perfect condition. This one has no nails or anything sticking out of it. It's pretty straight. This is a perfectly good piece of wood that you can use for any framing project, structural project, anything like that. Now I'm going to go over some of the safety measures that should be taken when using reclaimed wood, because it doesn't arrive in perfect condition. You can run into things like this, which is rusted nails. Oftentimes there'll be, broken glass, sharp objects. So, some things you want to bring to a pile like this is you want to make sure you have your gloves. You want to have a long sleeve shirt. You're going to want to have thick toed shoes, thick treaded shoes. Sometimes the job site can be a bit dusty when you're pulling out the pieces of wood, so a mask doesn't hurt. Also, some goggles wouldn't hurt as well. If you're really getting into the muck of pulling out some wood, you don't want to poke yourself in the eye. So that should take care of your safety while you're reclaiming wood. All right, so we're at the build site here, and typically you'll see things strewn about, and this is one of the things you'll see is oftentimes there'll be something that was demolished. There'll be leftover 2x4s. You can see this one has nails sticking out of it, but still pretty good condition 2x4s. So this is another good source of reclaimed lumber. Just make sure you talk to the people that are on the job site. They're cool with you taking the wood away. Usually they are. Saves them money from having to put it in a dumpster. So this is another good source of reclaimed wood.